at the top of my lungs.
You know what, Caldor? I am back here. Remember, we were casting the other day, and we were looking at those up and down player lists.
Yep.
And they were so good, and I was like, oh my god, that's like Code S.
And then you sent
So
Wolf
here
away,
I
and you
am.
were like, Wolf, you go to the US. I
Yeah.
want to cast the up and downs.
Forget about that Wolf guy, man. He needs to stay out of Korea so I can just cast everything.
I think you will have a pretty tough time explaining this to him. That dude loves Korea.
When he gets off the plane, I'm waiting at the airport. I'm like, you get back on that plane.
When we were casting the GSL finals and we were in Las Vegas, we were gone for like 1.5 days, and he was like, "Oh my god, I want to go home." He liked being back and meeting his family, but he was immediately like, "I want to go back to Korea. I hate this."
I always get a little bit of that too. I mean, I love to travel to these different places, but eventually I'm just like, I kind of miss being in Korea and my nice friendly surroundings and
not staying in a hotel the entire time.
That's true, man.
Well, guys, talking about StarCraft today, we have some amazing players. This actually feels a little bit like Code S today.
Yes, it does. This is a pretty sick lineup. I mean, we have NesTea, who's basically the greatest human of all time. We have JYP, basically Code S caliber player in 2 matchups.
How did it happen that you missed the off-the-record show with NesTea?
I think they did that on purpose, man.
They did that
I think
on
they're like,
purpose?
we better time this out so that our Toast doesn't do it, because how funny would that episode have been, man?
Yeah,
I would have
indeed.
asked him some weird questions.
He was on Off the Record last Friday, and if you didn't catch that, the episode is free today, isn't it? So I think they tweeted about it earlier, and you can check it out on GOMTV.
How was that? I didn't watch it.
It was actually pretty cool. It was really funny. I liked it. It was the first time that I was on Off the Record, and I kind of enjoyed it. It was good
I
fun.
think I saw a picture of you in a wig, didn't I?
Yeah, I had
You
an
should have
afro.
taken the wing with the bald spot and then just the hair around.
Nah, I gave that to Nick.
Yeah,
I was
I
like,
saw that.
Nick, that's yours. But John was so funny. He had one of the wigs with the red hair and really long, and he could just not. He had a really huge problem with the hair. It was always in his nose and his mouth and everywhere. It was ridiculous.
Fun times, fun times. Well,
we're having a quick look at something.
Yeah, I couldn't hear it either. I was just looking at you. Maybe Caldor heard that. I gotta
Yeah,
turn
I
my
saw that.
volume
I
up a
was
little
like,
bit.
I didn't hear it either.
Yeah. All right. So
that's Code S advancing. Yep. So we had MVP, Squirrel, Parting, and a Hero. That's the top 8, apparently.
all right, yeah, that's the top 8 from this season. And then the people who made it straight from Code A
Okay, here we go,
to
yeah.
Code S are Ganji, Sniper, Symbol, Happy, Keen, Creator, and Yu-Gi-Oh! And then players that went from... Well, wait a minute. What is this last group? How did they get in? I can't... I'm confused, Caldor, help me.
I'm also confused.
They're somehow in Code S as well, I guess. Aren't those the players that lost?
At first, I was actually trying to figure out what the numbers to the left meant, if there was some kind of rounds, but that's actually the numbers of players that advanced. And here we have the up and down matches. This is JYP.
Okay, so these players at the top group are players that went from Code A last season into Up and Down, and then the other group are the players that fell from Code S into Code A
and then
made it
into Up
back.
and Down.
So it is like a ridiculously stacked lineup of players, as you can see. I cannot
Okay,
wait.
and now we're getting to the graphic that we were actually expecting.
There we go.
Today's matches. JYP, NesTea, July, Lure, and Ghost King. They are fighting for a spot today. And, well, we have Lure now fighting for Team MVP. He was in Team OGS not too long ago and started out in RS Gaming. And then he went to OGS, and as OGS disbanded, MVP picked him up.
He is all over the place, man. But, you know, I have to say, he's going to have an uphill battle because we have some sick badasses in this group. Here we see it's going to be JYP against NesTea. Might be one of the better matches of the whole day.
Oh yeah, definitely. This is definitely going to be a very, very sick game. And I'm still looking forward to today's group. Tomorrow is going to be pretty sick as well. I think tomorrow is probably the hardest group ever in the Up and Downs. We have Bomber, Furious, Puzzle, Maru, Finn, and Alive.
Oh my god, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's actually really disgusting. But now, this group today also has a lot of great players, and we see 2 of them in the first match. JYP against NesTea coming up here at the GSL Up and Downs with Powder and Apostles. And we are on Entombed Valley, starting to the top right of the map in the orange color. We now have our Protoss player starting for Team Evil Geniuses. It is
EGJYP.
JYP told me once that he is still pretty nervous when he's playing at the GSL, when he's on camera and in the booth. You saw that earlier when he was preparing for the match, that he was trying to concentrate on the game ahead, and he's pretty good. He's against Zerg. It's his best matchup, and he's facing the player to the bottom right in the green color this time. We have our Zerg player starting for Incredible Miracle. It is
LGIM NesTea.
I don't really think that we have to introduce this guy, do you?
I mean, what can even be said about this chump, man? I mean, he
If
made the
anyone
universe.
knows, you know.
Yeah, he's got 3 championships. He's one of the smartest pro gamers we have ever seen. And, well, his teammate and friend and, in many ways, rival MVP just won the GSL for the 4th time.
And
I
what
feel
a
like that's
final
gonna...
that was.
Oh, my God, what a final, guys. If you haven't seen that, go watch it.
That was
Turn this off and go watch it. What
Yeah.
are you doing?
That was actually the best Protoss versus Terran that I've ever seen in my entire life.
Oh yeah, it was unreal, man. Those were like, there was a whole huge different amount of strategies and stuff. It was just, I loved that finals. It was great.
It was brilliant. Well, in this game we have the Parliament block now for JYP. NesTea went for the first 14 pool. No real surprise here. We have currently him without gas, just the standard build, 14 pool, and then transitioning into an expansion. The Parliament block for JYP will delay it a little bit, and then we'll see how he will transition, while JYP is going for a Forge build. Forge first?
Yeah, you know, just pretty standard, pretty safe. Doesn't want to take any risks. You have to get the cannon up a little bit quicker on this map, just because it's so wide open you can't do a complete wall quickly. So you have to get the Forge, then the Nexus, then the cannon, especially in close positions like this, against something like a 14 pool.
And JYP is already getting his natural, so, well, he's not expanding at the natural, but he is getting his second base at the position of the 3rd. So, a little bit risky here. That's, if he can actually take out the probe, that would be awesome. That would help him a lot, because so far JYP didn't spot it. But the probe kind of gets away, and if he has a look at the 3rd base, he will immediately know what's happening. With the overload speed, we have now our Zerg player NesTea getting a glimpse of what exactly JYP is up to.
Well, cannon gonna go up, and you know, this game looking very standard as far as an opening goes. You know, it's gonna be a 3-base Zerg against a Forge fast expanding Protoss. Kaldor, I want to get your prediction here. What players are gonna come out of this group?
I think that NesTea is definitely gonna come out of this group, and I was struggling a little bit between JYP and Beyond. Kind of depends on their shape today. Both of them have pretty good chances. I would say that Beyond has a little bit of an upper hand, though. If he plays like he did recently, I think that he might be able to get out of the group. It's just so stagnant, it's really hard to predict, but I think that NesTea is definitely gonna take the lead in the group and takes first place.
Well,
what about you?
You know, I think I'm going to go with, I think JYP is definitely going to get out, maybe in second. And I think that it's going to be between NesTea and Bjorn for the other spot. Of course, July Zerg, you know, he does sometimes just crush, especially in the last up and down matches. Last season, he played really well in that group. Just kind of, remember that? He went like 3-0 right away, and then it was like, oh, okay, I guess you're back in Code S, buddy. But Lure, I just can't see him making enough upsets, because anyone he beats, it's an upset here.
Yeah, the thing is, he just doesn't have the experience, and that's so important, especially not only when you play in the studio. It's not his first time here, but still, he's pretty new to the whole thing, and he must be pretty nervous compared to the other players. At the same time, he has to face NesTea today, JYP, all of them, so this is not going to be easy. By the way, we have a Stargate transition here for JYP, so he's not opting for some kind of gateway pressure here on 2 bases, which is something that you don't have to do in Entombed Valley. It's in general a really good map for a Protoss player against Zerg. You can take your 3rd very easily, you can defend it quite well, and even get the 4th later on. But he is transitioning here into a Stargate, and this might be just... He doesn't get the +1 attack upgrade, if I'm not mistaken, so I think that we might just see him with a Void Ray and a couple of Phoenixes, maybe 2, trying to put some pressure on. I really love when they go for the +1 attack build, Zealots and 2 Void Rays. I really like this attack. This is so strong, especially when it hits and you're not prepared for it when you didn't scout it.
Yeah, you know, it's really interesting because for a while there, that was the build.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, we would see +1 Zealots and Void Rays, whether it be one or a couple, and it's kind of fallen out a little bit recently. Zergs have gotten so good with their Roach-Warren timings at this point.
Yeah, definitely, but I still think that it was superior to a lot of other builds. This 2-base 4-gate pressure was something that I did not really like all that much, especially on Daybreak. And I always thought that the Void Ray attack, or at least supporting it with the Void Ray, was the better option here.
Well, I like this right here. Look at that. Oh, almost gets that Great Tumor. Nice quick cancel there by NesTea, though. Wants to keep those tumors active as long as possible.
There are a lot of things happening currently in PvZ, especially with the Queen builds now. We have a... Oh, nice. Oh, wow. Really important here. Catches not only the Zealot, but also the Stalker off guard. And this is horrible for JYP. Brilliant here by NesTea. Has the speed and makes good use of it.
Now with these Queens, he's going to be able to push away this Void Ray while he rebros that Spore Crawler. And you know, it's kind of funny, that Queen range, the way it affects this matchup, it's a little bit harder, of course, to scout with your probes after Queens are out. And then, of course, these little Zealot Stalker pressures that we've seen for a long time, you know, they don't really do as much anymore.
I have actually seen a lot of players go for very early attacks with Queen support, which kind of helps against the Forge first play. And look at this, Spire hidden, very nice, at the bottom left of the map. But yeah, with a lot of Queens, you can put on a lot of early pressure against your opponent if you try to go for an off-hatch or even just a Spying Crawler with the hatchery trick, the hatch cancel. That's something that you can definitely pull off because now they have the same range as a Stalker, and that helps you so much if you are scouted early on. But here comes JYP now trying to take down these Queens as a few of the Zealots harassing the Echo line. And this looks... Ooh, yep.
JYP actually just lost a Phoenix to that Spore. He could have moved it back. That was actually a big mistake there. And how much damage will JYP actually end up doing? He's gonna not get that Queen. Oh, he only needed to stay on it for another second.
But he loses the Void Ray after all.
That was bad, man. Everything went wrong for him there. He's lost a Phoenix, he's lost a Void Ray, and that's going to hurt, especially when the Spire finishes up. He needs to already have as many as possible.
Look at his gas, he has 1,200 now. That's 12 Mutalisks right there.
12 Mutas and +1 going to be started, man.
He doesn't have any anti-air.
No, he has Zealots, basically, a few Sentries, a single cannon, but he is getting Blink, and that's going to be helpful. You know, if he had gone Robo from here, I'd be like, well, guys, this game is almost over already, but the fact that he's getting Blink, and he does have the Stargate, he can transition into Stalker Phoenix for a little bit, but, you know, NesTea, he knows how to go Mutas against a player with this type of tech.
And he's getting... Oh, is he... No, he's actually not surprised. There they are. 15 Mutalisks at a time while he's attacking now with the Lings, trying to do some damage here, and actually takes out every single Zealot there is. And the Sentries, they are going to fall as well. This is not looking good for JYP, not at all. NesTea is just really being really annoying here. I don't think that JYP is going to expect those Mutalisks.
No, I don't think he's going to expect 15 Mutas to fly in, and already I want to... I mean, NesTea is actually just going to go kill him, I think. He sees now that there are, in fact, Mutas on the way, but 15? Did he expect this?
No, what is he going to do against this? This is just nearly impossible to hold.
Yeah.
He needs Stalkers, he needs them right away. He warped in a few, but still, if they're going to be enough, I highly doubt it. He could actually fight them head-on if he wanted to.
Exactly. There's only 5 Stalkers out right now. Blink about to finish, but not even done yet. And Probes are just going to have to run like mad, man. I mean, with more Mutas rallying up, is he ever going to have enough Stalkers here?
I have no idea. He's trying to get a 3rd base, 3 bases for NesTea already, and now the Zerg is fighting maybe a little bit too late. He's actually losing a few of his Mutalisks while the Zealots trying to take down the 4th base. Forces a cancel here. All of the Zealots die. They are on +1 now, so they definitely 2-hit Zerglings at this point, but 19 Mutalisks are on the map, and we only have 8 Stalkers. He doesn't even have Phoenixes left.
And at this point, I mean, he's making a lot of Lings as well. And these Lings almost have +2 melee. He's actually just completely skipping armor, saying, all right, you can 2-shot my stuff with your Zealots, but I'm going to kill you so much quicker. And I love this style from NesTea. This is like a hyper-aggressive Mutaling style that JYP just is not ready for.
The thing is, he did not kill too many Harvesters, though. He killed 12 in total, which is obviously quite a lot, but it's not as much as I expected. So JYP able to push him back here at least a bit. We have 58 probes against 77. drones, and here comes NesTea now trying to go in for the kill. The Storks immediately trying to focus fire the Mutalisk. The Zerglings granting a little bit of support on the low ground, but this is actually really a huge problem for JYP to deal with. The Artosis pilot, I'm sorry,
No,
Nick.
it's fine.
And then it's going down, and he has no production.
Yeah, this is pretty rough, man. NesTea is actually just ripping JYP apart right now with these mutas. They are everywhere, and there's not a big enough stalker count to split up right now, so he's going to kill that Nexus and keep flying back to the main, and there's nothing that JYP can really do about it.
He just keeps bouncing between main base and third base, and this is exactly what you need to do here. Now he blinks over, but there are not enough Stalkers. The Mutalists go in for the kill. Stalker after Stalker dies. The third is down. And now the end tier of JYP is next. 60 supply against 190.
Oh, man. I mean, the game is
GG.
far over. And that was, I expected that actually to be like a great match, but
yeah, me too.
That was NesTea just flexing his muscles and crushing poor JYP. That was so unbelievably one-sided. A well-hidden Spire. And JYP just couldn't get anything done with his aggression, continued to make Zealots, because normally when you show Phoenixes, people don't really go Muta.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
NesTea's like, nah, man, it's fine.
The thing is that usually on this map we see those really long games because you can take the third as a Protoss player, and this gives you so much opportunities in regards to your attack. And now we just have NesTea completely attacking him and taking him down early on. And as you already mentioned, when you start with a Stargate, you don't expect your opponent to go for Mutalisks because Phoenixes are just so good. And even with the new range upgrade, we've seen it occasionally. And as soon as a player commits too much to Mutalisks and is not able to do too much damage with the first attack, as soon as that range upgrade comes into play, all your Mutalisks are basically going to die. This completely caught him off guard here.
Yeah, it did. And, I mean, he lost one of his Phoenixes early on, and every Phoenix matters. Also, he made kind of a weird number, going for 3 exactly and then into Mass Zealots. Normally, if you watch some of the slightly more experienced Protosses, like, for instance, if MC opens with a Void Ray Phoenix build, he's making 5 or 6 every time. Now, 5 or 6 against those mutas, and the whole game looks different.
Yeah. You just can kite them, and you will make sure that all those die. And the thing is, you are also a little bit more flexible when you attack the queens. You need 4 Phoenixes in order to kill a queen with 1 lift. So something that he might have done, could have done here, but still, July looking. July. I'm just mentioning July because he just joined the lobby. We are already waiting for our next game to start. NesTea looking very, very strong in the last game, and JYP already down a match.
Yeah, that's a rough for him. But, I mean, if you're going to lose someone in the group, NesTea's probably a good one. I mean, this guy is kind of almost a sure bet to get out. You know, he's going to be playing players without as much experience. He's going to be playing a ZVZ against July, whereas that's July's worst matchup, and that's NesTea's basically his best. So, I mean, NesTea's probably going to come out of the group is what I'm trying to say here. So, if JYP loses him, all right, aim for that second place, JYP. Focus on killing Ghost King.
Yeah, and our next match is now going to be July, and if I'm not mistaken, let me have a quick look. He's up against...
Is it Lure?
Yeah, it's Lure.
All right, cool. Well, all right, we'll get Lure in here when we can. And Lure, can he kill July's? You know, July's ZVP is pretty good.
What I really like on this map and on Cloud Kingdom as well as a Protoss player is just the push with Sentry Immortal. I really love this push.
Yeah.
It is so strong. It's really, really hard to hold off. You need perfect positioning. You need to have good flanks. You can delay your opponent's attack with run-bys and try to take down his natural or at least distract him for a while. But it's just such a strong push. And it kind of got popular on Metropolis, which is our next map. So that might be something that Lure is going to consider here.
You know, my favorite thing actually to see on this map from Protoss, and I mean, it's not like an every time strategy, but the Warp Prism with sentries and like 3 Void Rays on this map. Oh my god, it's like so cool on this map because of the placement of that ramp. You know, you can really get it
cool at all.
It's really cool,
no,
Kaldor. What
no,
is
that is
You've
not
been hitting
cool.
that too much on the ladder recently? Oh my!
I hate that, especially when you don't have overloads in position anymore because they were able to take them out with the Void Race, and suddenly this Warp Prism comes in, force fields your ramp, and at this point you can have 200 supply at the low ground, and you know, okay, my main base is gone. Do
Dude.
I really stay in this game and try to fight it out, or am I just typing GG?
It's actually so funny. A lot of times nowadays when that first force field gets up, Zerg's just GGing out. You know, they're just like, oh,
For good reason.
it looks like everything's dead in my main base.
Yeah.
All my tech, all my drones, my spawning pool, probably a roach warren.
Ace did that as well, and if you are able to get in there, then it's over. Immediately. It's just a second, and then you're done. The only thing that you can do is try to pull your drones, try to kill the sentries, and somehow get out of it. But that usually does
it normally
not
doesn't
happen.
work, man. Yeah, I mean, as long as they don't miss a lot of pylons, they can always warp in extra sentries. It's pretty easy to hold. Like, if you try to counterattack, I don't really think that's going to work.
So you cheese on ladder.
No, actually, I don't. I never do. But that doesn't mean that I can't enjoy to watch the builds. So,
The first time that I saw that was, I think it was an MLG where Don Ragu lost against Gosu. God, I can't even recall the name. I'm really sorry, but against Pro Player on Shakura's Plateau. He opened with Phoenixes in order to push the Overlords back, and then he just swooped in with a War Prism, and there we go. With like,
no, I love controlling the information. I love those type of strategies that it's like a very complex, complicated, all-in-y type of thing. So it's pretty neat. We'll see if we see something like that. I wouldn't be too surprised because Lure has to know that he's going to have to pull a lot of things out of his bag of tricks to get out of this group.
oh yeah, definitely.
Well, he is in MVP now, so we don't want to underestimate him as well, because remember Sniper and how damn good he was? Well, he's now his teammate. Also, of course, DRG. Those are two amazing Zergs that may have helped him out for this match.
Sniper played so well. I was so impressed by this guy. I mean, I've known him before, but still, I felt like he really stepped up his game quite significantly.
All right, well, here we go, guys. The game is loading. July against Lure, the map Metropolis. Let's see how it goes.